What is going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast. We're releasing a special episode today for a special purpose. For those of you who live in Canada, we know that yesterday was Bell Let's Talk Day.
What up, Bell?
Yeah, great initiative, absolutely. But today we're talking about the importance of continuing that conversation because they started the conversation and it's on us to continue it and not let it fall back to where it was. So let's get into it. We got a lot of things to discuss between Sunny and I. Yes, by the way, this is Sunny. For anybody who hasn't seen him on the channel before, Instagram handle is down below. Go toss him a follow.
Right here.
So let's get into the conversation. Let's talk it out as we do. Let's do it.
All right, let's give her.
Do it! Just do it!
Okay, so as you said, Bell Let's Talk Day was yesterday, and it's super important that every year they do it. They donate 5 cents every tweet, like, share, whatever it might be, right? Mm-hmm. And they always get the conversation started. And as Ben said, this is about keeping it going, right? So first, right off the bat, it's all about making it something that's normalized, right? I mean, if you look at stats, 1 in 2 by the age of 40 are affected. That's huge.
Yeah.
There's 2 people in the room right here, right? And I can fully say I've been affected, right? It's something that I've gone through myself, and it was challenging. It's not something that you get over in a day or by tomorrow night or next year, right? Yeah. It's an ongoing battle, but it's something that you really learn from, you grow from, and you learn different things to kind of not deal with it, but learn to build, grow, and get over it, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's everyday challenges.
Yeah, I think the 5 cents, that's awesome, and the whole initiative itself is great. I love the premise of it. But the money can only go so far. The real issue stems from society as a whole and with it being stigmatized. That's the issue, and that's where the essence and the importance of continuing the conversation to break down those barriers, break down those walls to the point where it is normalized. Bell made it a cultural trend to talk about it on this specific day. It's on us to make it a cultural norm to the point where it's viewed at the same as a regular injury or illness because it is an issue that we have. And it's honestly it's understandable from humans. What you can't see is difficult to understand. So it's easy to say, oh, you're faking it or whatever it is, but it's real. It's very real. It impacts people all the time, and it's on us to accept that, make it normal, and also it's hopefully more and more research will be conducted to throw the legitimacy behind it because you were throwing up the numbers behind people who are impacted.
Yeah. Well, they said, hey, you know what? 1 in 2. By the age of 40, but as of right now, 1 in 5 is either by mental health or addictions, right? And looking from people aged to 18 to 24, again, as weed gets legalized, people see it as kind of an outlet. And it really isn't an outlet. It's something that, you know what, people will go on and it'll take the pain away temporarily, but no, it's not something you can rely on.
It's not a solution.
No, it's really not. And it's something that I've constantly see people fall back on. And once you get to that point, it doesn't work, right? It actually can make it worse. There is obviously things proven towards that, but I'm not here to lecture you to say to do it or not to do it.
Yeah, but it's just a good thing to keep note on.
It's all about lifestyle, is what I say.
For sure,
right?
Yeah. So we're stressing the importance of continuing the conversation. So what are some ways in which people can do that?
Okay, so one of the things I was thinking is think about your core group of friends, right? Think about whether it's, hey, you know what, your housemates, your close 3 to 5 core friends, or your bigger group who's 15, 20 people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try to stay accountable. Once a week, every couple weeks, give them a call, catch up, see how they're doing, right? It's usually your closest friends that first realize that you're being a little bit different than anyone else.
I think, but the scary thing is sometimes it could go totally unnoticed.
Yeah, 100%.
Even when I go through stuff, I'd say I'm pretty good at hiding it to the public or like people who I go and interact with and go by. But there's gonna be a lot going on in the background. So that's a great strategy, connecting with a specific friend group. But for me, I would say another tip would be if you are a confident person, be the one to make it known that you're having a hard time. Because simply voicing that and showing other people that you're in the same boat, you'll be so surprised at how many people have dealt with the same issues or similar issues or know someone. And so that goes from being alone to if you connect with other people who feel alone, that then forms a sense of community. So if you have the confidence to be that voice for somebody else, that's very important. And that's the responsibility to you. And that's what we're trying to do right now as people who feel confident in describing and speaking about these issues. It's on us to do that for those who aren't, because that starts the conversation and continues it for those who are too shy or not willing to speak.
And don't make this like a one-day thing where you're talking about it and you're stressing, hey, you know what? Reach out to me and tell your friends. No, do this consistently.
Yeah.
If you see someone's going through things, fucking reach out, right? Like, it's not a big deal. Give them a call, see what's going on. There's often times where there's people I'm not even close with, but you see, you know what? They're going through a hard time or whatever. Yeah. You literally shoot them a message. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah.
It's so hard to stress,
I try to make
right?
it a routine to reach out, even to like, not like random people, obviously, but I mean like random people in terms of not like my core friend group. Yeah. Try to send them a message, just open that door, give them the opportunity to speak. If they want it, hopefully they take it, and hopefully these initiatives will help them feel more comfortable in taking that opportunity. But it's all about that outreach, and I love what you said there, is that it's not a one-time thing, and that's the issue with, not the issue, but that's what Bell Let's Talk is lacking, because it's one day. So unfortunately, mental illness doesn't just happen on one day.
No.
Right? Like no. It impacts people continuously. So that's on us to continue the conversation. So I love that you said that.
Definitely.
So why would you say it's so important to continue this conversation?
To continue it, just to normalize it, right? Mm-hmm. And again, it's going back to the confidence and coming out with it and saying, hey, you know what? I'm affected by it.
Yeah.
Think about your workplace, right? How many times they've recently added not sick days but personal days. And personal days, that could be whether you want to spend it with the family or it's something that you actually need for yourself to, hey, you know what? Today, I'm just not myself. Today, I need me time. And there's a difference between me time and alienation, right? Where you're actually taking yourself out of a group setting purposely because you don't want to be around people, because you can't be around people.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? You need to surround yourself with good people, people who are there, people who will be there by your side, and people who are willing to listen.
Yeah.
Half the people that are going to listen don't care. But find the people that will listen, that will care to listen, and will offer advice, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's easy to get stuck into the belief system that you can only get support from your core friend group. But if they're not willing to support you, there's definitely other ways that you can go about garnering that support. And that's important, because recognizing that you are going through a hard time is the first step into improving that. And that, again, that takes a lot of courage to admit fault, or not admit fault, but admit that there's an issue, right?
Yeah, no, you're spot on with that. And I think the other thing is sometimes it's not your closest friends that you can reach out to. Sometimes you might not always feel comfortable reaching out to your close friends.
Yeah, because it may be too intimate.
Yeah, so you know what? Take advantage of the support groups. Take advantage of the mental health lines. There are so many resources that are now coming in the past 5 years. Take those into action. Like, use them, utilize them. They're there for a reason. It's not something to feel ashamed of. It really isn't. Myself, like I said, I've gone through anxiety. I've gone through depression. There's things that I've gone through where, you know what? I was waking up every morning and puking, right? It's not a fun thing to be in.
Yeah.
But it's something that you need to understand. This is what it is. Why is it happening? And that's where you change your lifestyle. You go to the gym. You eat healthier.
Positive influences.
You surround yourself with good people. You get a friggin' dog. You know what I mean? What up, dogs? No, I'm kidding. But it's different things that you can add. And you see what's overall making that difference.
Yeah.
And it's not about once it's done, you go back to normal. No, it's how do you continue to make those goals?
Yeah.
Think of it as an entrepreneur, right? You get up, you can fail. You get up, you can fail. But it's all about keep trying again and again and again until you find what works, what doesn't, how can I incorporate it into my everyday life, right?
I think the stigma stems from people feeling alone and thinking that it doesn't happen, it only happens to a certain type of people. And that's what we're attempting to do, is showing that it happens to everyone. So even people who show that they're so confident, they still can go through stuff. I've experienced depression myself, and it's crushing, it's defeating, and people wouldn't have known that I was going through that because I still projected confidence. But that doesn't mean that you're not struggling deeply internally.
Yeah.
And it's all consuming. So even though you're there, I recall it vividly, just not being there, but being there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was there as a physical person, but it wasn't
You
been
didn't even
there.
want to be there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you're not gonna want to be there all the time. But it's literally about getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in situations and thinking, what is the worst that could happen from this?
Have the courage to
Right?
talk about it, because like you
Yeah.
said, the absolute worst that could possibly happen would be someone not being receptive to being a support system. And even if then, okay, at least you started the conversation. You showed someone else that this happens to more people than you would realize, and that's helping to fuel the fire and start the conversation and push it the right way.
And if you're worried about having the conversation and what to say, something is better than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But open up with your personal experiences, what you've gone through, because I promise you, everyone has gone through something once.
Or at the very least, been close
Yeah.
with someone who's gone through something.
Absolutely. So it's not knowing the right thing to say. It's about actually starting to attempt to say something and having that conversation, right? And that's super important, because if someone comes out and says, hey, you know, I'm suicidal, there's not a right thing to say. You're going to be worried about what the right thing to say is and what to say in that moment, but it's about having that conversation, about opening that door and letting them know, hey, you know what? Regardless, I'm still here to talk. I'm here to listen.
Yeah.
I can't offer direct advice. You're not a medical professional.
For sure, yeah.
Right?
It's important
And we're
to
not
have
saying
that
to be
distinction.
medical professionals. We're saying to be open-minded, open your ears, and listen.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
the people who are going through these things, if the stigma is broken down, they're more likely to pursue help from professionals. So simply as you being open to it and not looking at it as something that's terribly wrong with them, that may give them the confidence to go pursue help, which could help to alleviate the issue.
Yeah. What do you think about counseling? What's your thoughts?
Counseling, I think it can be very, very beneficial. I've done so myself personally. I've have to deal with it for numerous things. Not for some years, but I definitely did. And I would say it's pretty impactful. But like anything, you get out what you put in. So I can say I went in as like an angry kid, so I didn't get as much out of it until I finally opened up. But it does... One, they're professionals, so they know how to break down the situation and what's going in. And they also know how to look at it from a very broad perspective to see the things that in your mind that you may feel are unconnected that may actually be having a major impact on the root cause of the issue. So it's never a bad opportunity. It's never a bad decision, to talk to someone as a professional. I've had great success in improving relationships that way by dealing with the issues at hand, whether it be in a relationship or personally. And I think there's a ton of value there. And I also don't think that you should be ashamed if you are having counseling or anything of that nature.
Honestly, I recommend it. And here's what I say about it, right? You can have your one-to-one counseling. You can have your group counseling. But think of it as life coaching.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the word is the issue that people have. Right?
Yeah.
Because counseling seems like
Don't think
you're like a test subject in a lab study, which it's not
You're
like
not.
that.
Think of it as a life coach. Think of it as someone, hey, you know what? These are the challenges I face. And it could be something so minuscule as, you know what? I'm lazy. I can't get myself to go to the gym. Okay, I can't get myself to wake up every morning, go to the gym, get in that routine. But it's something that you set out a plan. You go with, hey, this is what I'm gonna do today. This is what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and it's building blocks, right? It's not. Counseling isn't just let's talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
It's what are we looking at? What are the consequences? What are the problems? What are the challenges? What is everything we're facing right now? Where does it come from? Like you said, what are things I can do to mitigate it and kind of reduce it?
Yeah.
And how can I change my life and get that and apply that to different things?
For sure.
Whether it's work, education, relationships, there's so many different aspects that can affect mental health, and that's what we're looking at, right? It's the biggest thing right now for us.
I think the major thing that you'll take away if you ever do seek counseling because you feel like you need it is how indirectly it'll impact your life from not even from the sessions. When you have your own time to self-reflect, I feel like that's where the additional value is taken from it, because sure, you can take the counseling from said counselor, but it's what you do with it and how you can translate that into so many different facets of your life that's where you're like, that's the breakthrough moment. That's the the light bulb where you're like, wow, there's just so many more things and variables that I wasn't even considering that can improve my life and how I interact with people. So that's very, very powerful. And have the courage to go pursue that help if you even remotely feel that you need it. And a great thing is that a lot more companies are adding that into the benefits package.
Yeah.
Some sort of support system or means to get support. And I think that's long overdue, and it
Absolutely.
should be universally accessible. But at least it's trending in the right direction. And again, this all comes from the Bell Let's Talk movement of trending in the right direction. But we got to keep it going up, and that's on everyone's plate to do it.
For sure. And again, there's different resources. If you're not looking at counseling, if you don't want to go to friends, think about what you can do as an individual, right? And that's as simple as downloading a simple app. There's so many apps that you see all different things. Take that 5 minutes, close your eyes, reflect, put yourself back in the now, and stop worrying about later, right? It's a big thing when it comes to anxiety from someone who's had it. You're always thinking the what if.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, and that's the most daunting thing.
Yeah, but now put yourself in a situation and think, if I am in that situation, what is the absolute worst thing that could happen?
Yeah.
And learn, and in your head, accept it.
That's the key,
right?
It's
accept it.
You can say it to yourself, but until you come to that point of acceptance, it doesn't sink in.
Yeah,
exactly. So I love that a lot. It's actively try things, right? There's no secret sauce. There's no one-stop shop or one solution for everybody. It comes down to what Sonny said. It's figuring out that formula for you. Find the recipe that works for yourself, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. So try different things. There's so many different resources, but it's on you to pursue them. So I encourage you greatly, if you are going through anything, to seek it out. Hey, message me.
Reach out to us. We're here.
I am happy to. I get DMs from people all the time, and I always respond to them because, one, it's a great opportunity to connect with people, and two, another thing to keep in mind is that, it's basically building off what I was saying, is people do like to support you. Like, even selfishly speaking, I feel great when I can make someone feel better.
Absolutely.
So don't look at it as a thing of fear. See it as an opportunity for that person to grow, because it's mutually beneficial. They're growing, you're growing as well, and then the connection between you two are growing.
Realistically, if it's affecting 1 and 2 people, the odds that you're talking to someone else, they probably know what you're going through, right? So stop feeling scared.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scared. Reach out. People are here to listen.
Yeah.
People aren't always bad, okay? People are good. People want to listen. People care. And reach out, because we care about you too.
For sure.
We really do.
And we mean that sincerely. As you can see, our Instagram handles are both down below. Feel free to slide in the DMs with any issues that you may have, to just have a chat, because that can be very impactful. I've felt it personally when I've been going through stuff. Just simply talking, airing it out, that can't be exaggerated. The impact that can have is quite profound. And if you're not seeking that out, hey, you got 2 people right here more than willing to lend an ear and then provide whatever advice that we possibly can.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely here to listen. Again, gone through things myself. Always open-minded. Always looking out for my friends. I'm here to listen. You know what I mean? It comes down to that. Here to listen, offer advice. I'm no medical professional, but it is what it is. I can always lend an open ear.
Beautiful.
Sure. Definitely.
I think that summarized basically everything I wanted to say.
Keep talking, everybody.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the summary for this.
Cool.
It's the day after Bell Let's Talk, but we're telling you to keep talking. Keep that conversation going. Thank you guys for listening. This is Ben signing off.
This is Sonny Nakra. We'll see you soon. Take care. See you,
Have
everybody.
a good one. Peace.